Joe. I've taught ESL for years. I teach Chinese students online, Russian and Ukrainian students, both in person and online. I've taught Portuguese IT professionals living in Dublin. I teach everyone from preschool Russian children in person to advanced business to adult beginners. Having been surrounded by other languages for the past 5 years in a row, and prior to that, another 2.5 years of living in Barcelona, I know the feelings personally of attempting to speak a language to native speakers when you don't speak well yet. At age 55, I sold my farm in Arkansas, divorced my husband of 23 years, and set out for Europe solo. Now I'm 60, and I've lived solo in France, Spain, Norway, Ireland, and now Montenegro. So learning a foreign language boosts cognitive abilities, it improves problem-solving skills, memory, and multitasking capabilities compared to monolingual people. But many people never start because of fear. When I started researching how to grow a YouTube channel, the advice was to do something that friends consistently tell you that you do well. So I thought about it for a long time. And the one thing that seemed to come up consistently was my friends think I'm good at facing fears. So I decided to drill down on this idea and share my proven strategies with you. Number 1, control your focus. What happens when you start to feel afraid is that your focus is on the other people. What are they going to think? I'm going to sound so stupid. I'm going to feel so embarrassed. Believe me, I understand. I've been learning languages for about 14 years. It's terrifying to not be able to do a basic thing like speaking. You feel like an idiot. So, when you feel afraid, refocus. Put your blinders on and do not give any energy to the people around you. Trust that they are in the same boat, in the same place. Put all of your focus inwards. Say to yourself, I am here for me to expand my life. I cannot worry about what other people think about the way I speak. And the reality is most of us start learning in a group class. So we're worried about what our classmates will think, or what the teacher will think, or how stupid we will sound stumbling around trying to find words and making strange sounds. So focus on the fact that everyone is in the same boat. If you're in a beginner class, they all feel the same way you do. Give and receive support from other students who are working through the same fears and embarrassment at the same time, making the same mistakes. So, how do I address this pain point in my classroom? As your teacher, I spend time talking about it. Let's talk about the fear. Let's get it out of the way. We just talk about it. And then we strategize about how are we going to get through it. And science tells us that when we learn faster and retain more when we're at play. So I keep it silly and goofy and playful and weird. We make an agreement where no one will be mocked or denigrated or shamed. Tip number 2, stay empowered. You are in charge. Students are under fear, under the misconception that they are at the mercy of their teacher, that their teacher holds all the knowledge, and that you know nothing, and you feel vulnerable as a student. But remember, this is not reality. You are making the decision to learn. You are paying for the class. The teacher works for you. You are in charge. Students make up this terrifying scenario that they're going to go in and say something and everyone in the class is going to laugh and make fun of them. If you ever encounter something like that, get up and leave immediately. You are there for you. It is your choice. You are giving this gift and this investment of learning and time for yourself. So keep this in mind and your fear will melt away. Tip number 3, love your mistakes. Mistakes are your friend. Embrace pronunciation mistakes as a necessary part of this journey. Learning language is different from learning any other subject. It's not like learning math or geography. It involves sound production. Sound production involves your body, specifically your voice. Now, language is in the body, so it is impossible to disassociate. It's an emotional journey. It's emotional because it's expression. Speaking is expression. It is directly tied to your personality. There is no way around it. Think about it. If you are very sad or angry about something, but you have to go to work, most of us can just suck it up, put on a happy face anyway, and not let anyone know that we are hurting. But when you begin to talk about it, your voice will quiver or shake or break because you can't control your voice. Can't control it so easily because sound production, it's like a conduit for your emotion. That's why we love to hear people sing. When it comes to language learning, failing forward is the road to success. Do not let the pursuit of perfection take away the opportunity to make progress. Guilty. Okay, so I'm extremely sensitive to my students' feelings when it comes to pronunciation. I'm very careful about giving correction in a way that is empowering rather than shame-inducing. But I don't shy away from it. I begin addressing pronunciation from day one, even with beginners and even with the children who I teach. I give them the information, a mechanical outlay so they can separate it from an emotion as much as possible. I break down the mechanics. I let them know that I have complete faith in them by pushing them to discover things on their own. And after they have the information, once a student who starts out extremely afraid, then takes a bold, brave step anyway and experiences that moment of achievement, then they build confidence very quickly. They're hooked. And the fear of making mistakes is moved to the background. And the excitement of discovering that, hey, maybe I can do this, starts to take over. Tip number 4, training wheels. Support. You've got to find a supportive friend or partner or online group or teacher who you can trust to provide you with more information when you make a mistake rather than shaming you or showing disappointment in your efforts. It's like finding a therapist, right? So much trust is involved here. When you're learning something really scary, like when you were a child and you were learning to ride your bike, you had to have support training wheels on the bike first. Or you had to have a parent or a coach literally holding you up until you could find your balance on your own. Or like learning to swim. At first, you need flotation device to provide some support for you in the water while you gain enough confidence and get those muscles in line. So I use lots of praise and celebration and encouragement for every tiny achievement. Language learning apps have utilized the science and data behind the importance of that little dopamine hit that comes from when our achievements are celebrated. So I do the same thing, and I remind my students to praise themselves. You've got to praise yourself with your internal self-talk. Believe me, I know the feeling. I've told someone that they were a very good window and how much I liked their horse when I was trying to compliment their hair. So I hope those results-driven strategies work for you. And please let me know in the comments which step you have personally tried and what were your results. Also, please answer my poll so I know what you want me to focus on for the next lesson. Do you want more content on overcoming fear of teaching ESL while living in a foreign country, as I do? Overcoming the fear of speaking a foreign language? Overcoming the fear of traveling the world alone as a female over 50 like me? overcoming the fear of navigating immigration into a foreign country while learning a language like I do. Anyway, this is just my introduction of how I teach. Each week I'll be uploading some content for you and giving you some mini lessons. So I hope you'll join me. I hope you'll like and share and subscribe and give me your input. And I look forward to seeing you again. Bye.